start off with our design by going to Design and then Data, because the first thing that we'll do is we will design the data that will store in your application. So we start by clicking the plus here, and we create a new data item. And for example, in this, we'll use project as a name, so our application can store projects. And with a project, we want to add some properties. So for example, a name would be a text. You can fill in any text. And then we say name, and it will have a property name. So now for every project that we will store in our application, it can have a name. And also we will use a date and we'll name it deadline because we want to have some deadline for our project, for example. Okay, with a simple data item like this, we can now store projects, and the next step would be that we make sure that in our application we can actually manage those projects, so we can add them, edit them, and remove them. So we're going to user flows, and you can see there's no user flows here, so we'll start a new one, click the plus, and we'll use the wizard. The wizard is really easy to use for these types of user flows. So we'll start with an overview, add, edit, and delete data. So we want to have a situation where we can add, remove, edit projects. So we'll use this one. We'll click next. Well, project is what we want, so we'll use project. We want all the properties, but if you have more properties here, you can deselect them if you need to. And then we want to be able to add new projects, we want to edit projects, and we want to possibly delete them. Well, we want to sort these a little bit. And then, let's sort them on deadline standard. You can always sort them in the screen later, but let's sort them on deadline with the closest deadline at the top. And then we'll give this user flow a name. This is the name that will show up in the menu. So we will call this, for example, all projects. There we go. Now we have a user flow here. And if we look at that, you can see that this user flow has an overview page. So you start here, you will see the overview page. You can add a project, and you'll go to this page, which is a form page, as you can see. And on that form page, you can press done. It will create the project, and you'll see it in the overview. And then the last thing that we need to do is we need to actually add this to our menu. So here we go. We'll add a section here called something like administration. Add that. Add a category, something like projects. And now we can add our user flow underneath this category. It's the only one we have left because we only have one. Add it, and that's it. And now we can actually publish our application already. So we go to publish, and we publish it to lab. And that's all there is to it. And now you've made an application in like a minute or so using Triggre from scratch. When the publishing is done, we can go back to the dashboard. It's now published on lab, so we can click that. We go to lab. We can see we have all projects. We can add a project, give it a name. The deadline is somewhere on 2022. It's a faraway project now. And we click done. There it is. And now we can edit it. We can even download this overview as an Excel file, or we can delete it.